Part 2. The pre-release question, 52 marks for OCR. The video could be seen as a form of content analysis. By filming the interviews, they'd be able to analyse the nature of the bodily expressions, bodily communication, facial expressions, and of the interviewees, and that might enable them to get more of a sense of whether they can check the accuracy of the data, see to what extent people place great emphasis in their gestures on the importance of fatherhood. So, advantages could refer to concepts like practical, ethical, representativeness, generalizability, reliability, validity. Mixed methods offer more practical weaknesses than strengths, but do offer the advantages of greater validity and reliability. Disadvantages. So disadvantages of mixed methods would be the great time and cost involved in this type of approach, the way in which the researchers would have to spend more time and costs would increase because of the ambitious approach involved, with the use of semi-structured interviews and time diaries and videos that have to invest in the resources and staff required. The issues with this topic in ethics terms, they would have to make sure that they get informed consent and that they give information so that people can agree to take part in the research. There are potential problems because of the nature of fatherhood being a very sensitive personal topic. They would have to make sure that they are careful in how they conduct the interviews so as not to offend people or make them feel psychologically uneasy or even upset. In terms of harm, there are potential issues to do with harming wider members of the community who are affected by the outcome and results of the research and its analysis if it leads to stereotyping of people from different socioeconomic or from poorer groups, from ethnic minority groups. If this presents stereotypes such as Asian fathers being more associated with discipline, black fathers being absent, or white working class fathers being more strict. So they have to ensure that they avoid reinforcing any stereotypes, especially if this kind of research has been repeated before, in which case they might need to take a different angle so they don't just purely rehearse played out images and assumptions from the past. Representativeness, we discussed that with the sampling issue. Reliability, mixed methods are harder to repeat because of their ambitious, time-consuming nature. The semi-structured interviews in particular, as part of the qualitative approach, which was mainly qualitative in this mixed methods approach, this would have less reliability. Positivists would see this as a problem. It would be less scientific and objective and harder to replicate, and positivists would therefore be concerned about this study not being scientific enough and objective enough. Validity, there may be issues with validity if people felt uncomfortable in the interviewer setting. There might be issues of interviewer bias. The social characteristics of the interviewers may affect the way in which the interviewees respond to questioning. The less structured nature of semi-structured interviews means that it will lead to more depth and detail, but it may not always lead to the right kind of areas, and depends on the researcher's skill in conducting the interview, and that will affect the accuracy and outcome of the results. With mixed methods, it's very dependent on the skill of the researcher, especially in analysing the results, which are going to be very more wide-ranging and more substantial in their breadth and depth. The study was focused on meanings attached to fatherhood, so it seems fit for purpose that they should choose a qualitative mixed method study to gain accurate results. Possible improvements to the research. The research was conducted over 8 days, I believe. That was the time diaries. The time diaries could be extended. Using a longitudinal approach, they could do a more long-winded study to gain more ideas about trends over time, changes or developments in how fathers and how much time they spend with their children. The semi-structured interviews could be further developed with questionnaire survey on a larger scale with a bigger sample. Because of the issues to do with some people from certain backgrounds being missing from the sample, they could conduct it with a bigger target population and sample to try and improve representativeness and generalisability. This would further improve the study. The researchers would have had to be careful to be reflexive in doing the research. That is, considering their social background and being self-consciously aware of who they are and where they come from and their background. Any further research would still need to consider this issue, particularly because of the sensitive nature of fatherhood as a topic. In conclusion, mixed methods offer many advantages in enabling researchers to greater understand a complex and sensitive topic. The nature of this particular study means that it seems that a suitable, pragmatic and practical method to use mixed methods, qualitative mixed methods, semi-structured interviews and time diaries and videos. A range of types of data were therefore gathered. However, it would need to be considered in light of the nature of the sample, the ambitious nature of the research, which may impact upon the validity of the results.